Oh, Jamar Chase with the dive. Because Garrett Wilson's wide open. Garrett Wilson, touchdown Barrett. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the video here in the World of Juice channel, and welcome back to another Madden 24 video. That is right. We have returned to Madden 24, and we are going to be taking on maybe the most impossible rebuild that has ever been accomplished or attempted in the history of YouTube rebuild franchise series on Madden. I know that was a mouthful, but hear me out. The Pittsburgh Steelers are currently struggling on their offense. That's no surprise. Everybody understands that the Steelers have been struggling. And the main reason why the Pittsburgh Steelers have been struggling for the past couple of seasons, mainly on offense, their defense is very, very good. So mainly on offense, they're struggling. They do have a young quarterback in Kenny Pickett. We're still trying to figure out if he's the real deal. He's got tiny hands. We're trying to figure out if he can throw the football. They've got Najee Harris, who seems to be a good running back when he wants to be. I don't know. Najee Harris is a weird one because he's got all this raw talent. He's so good. But he just doesn't, maybe it's the offensive line being horrible, not giving him good blocks. I don't know, but it feels like Najee's potential is just not being used to the fullest in Pittsburgh. But that's a whole nother discussion. They don't really have a ton of weapons. They moved on from Chase Claypool, even though he's not really a weapon in the first place. They got Deontay Johnson, but he's often injured. They've got, obviously, George Pickens, who's a stud, but that's about it. They got Pat Freiermuth, but he's kind of blocking and receiving. He's good at both. It's a weird situation the offense is put in. And you've got Matt Canada leading the way. I don't know if he's officially calling plays or not. I'm not 100% sure. He might be, but I'm just not sure if he is. Obviously got Mike Tomlin as your head coach. So I've done the only logical thing. I've fired Matt Canada. But this is not a rebuild about the Pittsburgh Steelers. No. This is not a rebuild about the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is a rebuild about another franchise in the NFL that is also debating some firings around their staff. The Las Vegas Raiders hired Josh McDaniels a couple of seasons ago. Maybe last season was his first year? Or two? I don't remember. He's been gone from New England for a few years. I think it's been 2, but I don't honestly remember. Who cares? That's not the point. They hired Josh McDaniels, and this is the second go-around for Josh McDaniels to be a head coach. Obviously, the first time he was the Denver Bronco head coach. That blew up in his face. Not good. He came back to New England. Then he gets another job opportunity after the Patriots win some more Super Bowls, and everybody thinks that he's great because he's managing an offense that has Tom Brady. So obviously, you're going to be really, really good if your quarterback's Tom Brady. So he gets another opportunity. Vegas hires him. He's the new coach of the Raiders. He had Derek Carr. He had Davante Adams. Did not work out. Derek Carr's now in New Orleans. Davante Adams still there, but there's potential. Davante Adams could get traded. There's a lot of odds right now in Vegas. Funny enough, in Vegas, in the sports books, about where Davante Adams is going to go if he does end up getting traded. So, and the Patriots might be in that list. I don't know. That'd be awesome. So today I've taken Matt, and the reason why I say this is the most impossible rebuild challenge in the world is because I've taken Matt Canada from the Pittsburgh Steelers. I've fired him because all the Pittsburgh fans want him gone because they think that he is the problem. If he gets out of there, then they won't have to worry about anything else, and the offense will be back to normal, and the Pittsburgh Steelers will be good. So we've taken Matt Canada from the Steelers. We've plucked him and put him on a plane to Las Vegas. We fired Josh McDaniels. He's gone. Wherever he wants to go. Maybe he go back to New England. I don't know. But he's out of here. And we needed a new head coach. So I have hired Matt Canada to be the new head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, some of you may be thinking, Juice. The Pittsburgh Steelers want Matt Canada to be fired as an offensive coordinator. So why would he be getting an offer to be a head coach if he just got fired for being a horrible offensive coordinator? I see your point, but I don't care. That's why it's the hardest rebuild possible, because we are going to be running Pittsburgh's offensive playbooks, which I'm assuming is going to have a little bit of Matt Canada vibes to it. I'm hoping. At least that's the kind of path I'm trying to take, is we're going to be running offensive playbooks, still keeping the defensive playbook for the Raiders because they can keep their defensive coordinator. I don't really care. So we're going to be doing that, having the Pittsburgh offensive playbook, because that's the Matt Canada part of things, since technically he's not in the game because he's offensive coordinator, and Madden doesn't have offensive coordinator, real offensive coordinators. So we are going to be running Pittsburgh's playbook to kind of simulate the Matt Canada vibes. But we do have Matt Canada now as the head coach of the Vegas Raiders, and we're going to try to rebuild this team to try to win a championship with the Pittsburgh offense, with Matt Canada as the coach, and we'll see what else happens. So if you guys go to enjoy this and you want to see other similar rebuild type of ideas, leave them down below in the comments. I'd be happy to hear them. And yeah, let's get this started. The most difficult rebuild in Madden history is about to be underway. Matt Canada leading the way as a head coach. I thought I'd never see the day. Let's get into it. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. Let's get started. Okay, here we are. We are in the franchise. It is 2023 normal stuff. We've got the regular roster that we have the base roster updated to the most recent files. Josh Jacobs, Davante Adams, Jakobi Meyers, everybody that you know and or love. And I should probably release Chandler Jones. I think I'm going to trade him, get some value out of him. That might be a little slimy, but hey, I don't know. I'm gonna get some value out of. I don't know how much value we can get out of him, but we're gonna try to get some value out of Chandler Jones, because I think he just got arrested recently. So yikes for him. But we're gonna trade him away and get him onto another team, and get some value out of him, because why not? Instead of just cutting him loose. We are gonna be running auto-generated rookies. I don't really want to draft Marvin Harrison. Well, I want to draft Marvin Harrison, but I don't want to run real life players in this class or in this rebuild. So we're going to be running auto-generated stuff there. This team has a lot of holes. Obviously, quarterback might be the biggest hole of all. Quarterback is a big issue. Not a whole lot of promise there with good old Jimmy G. Jimmy GQ. I mean, he's a handsome man, but with these accuracies, with these stats in general, being a 79 and being 31 at this point, and probably costing a pretty penny, he's not here for the future. That's probably pretty obvious. Josh Jacobs is the running back of this team, 25 years old, a freaking animal, man. He led the league, I think, in rushing. I think he was the rushing leader last year in real life. So he's just a stud. I love Josh Jacobs. He's only 25 years old. He's probably going to be here. As long as we can keep him under contract, he'll probably be here the entire rebuild. Davante Adams is an interesting story, because obviously I mentioned that there's trade rumors for Davante Adams in real life. Still very productive, still very good at 30 years old. He's a 96 overall in Madden. He's got fantastic numbers. I think what we do is we keep him around for the early stages, and then if we see that we're not going anywhere, we probably then move on from him and see if we can get some good draft picks or some young players, something like that. The offensive line is probably the biggest issue outside of the quarterback spot, because there's not a whole lot to talk about here except for Colton Miller, who is still a very good young offensive lineman, still developing at 27 years old. Very good here, hopefully, for the entirety of this episode or this video. We do have Michael Mayer, the rookie out of Notre Dame, the Golden Domers. Hidden development, but I'm assuming it's only star. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it is only star. 74 overall, about to go up to a 75. Good, young, promising tight end with a development trait is a lot more exciting than Austin Hooper, who is above 30 and bad. So Mayer, hopefully we can develop him, become the future of the team. Other than that, we got Renfro. We've got Jakobi Meyers. Ironic that Jakobi Meyers is here in Vegas after what happened last season when he cost us the game. He cost us the game against the Raiders when we went on the road. New England went on the road to face them. Final play, he gets it on it was like a weird, like they were tossing around, hook and ladder type stuff, and he tosses it all the way back to Mac Jones. Mac Jones gets run over by, funny enough, Chandler Jones, and Raiders score, touchdown, it's over, game over. So It's a brutal way to lose a game, and it's funny that Jakobi Meyers is now here in Vegas. On the defensive side of things, there's not a whole lot more promising on the defense. I mean, you've got Mad Max Crosby, who is an unbelievable pass rusher, 26 years old, fantastic ratings, X Factor, stud. Hopefully he's here for the long haul. Other than that, there's not a whole lot to look forward to. You've got Tyree Wilson, first round pick this year. I think he was what, like pick number 9? 8? I don't remember exactly when he was picked, but he was a first round top 10, I'm pretty sure. And he's very good, very promising, and I'm assuming he's going to only have star as well, but that's still really, really good. And his numbers right off the bat are pretty decent, so all we got to do is develop that, and he could become a very good pass rusher alongside Max Crosby, which all we have to do is fill in the middle spot, fix the linebacking core, fix the safeties, the corner. We got a lot of work to do. We got a lot of work to do, but we do have 2 X factors on offense, 1 on defense, so we have some promise. But now that we're familiar with who's on this team, let's go and figure out who is staying on this team, because I have no idea. Obviously, we got to go right away and get rid of Chandler Jones. And I know I could just cut him and make his ratings really bad so that he doesn't get picked up by anybody. But where's the fun in that? Where's the fun in that? Might as well get some pieces for him. On the trade block, we can get some interesting people. A.J. Dillon, but we have Josh Jacobs. They kind of run a similar style. C.J. Henderson is intriguing. Cesar Ruiz to instantly fix or at least instantly help the offensive line. And then that's about it. Jack Sanborn, but only at normal development. I mean, he'd obviously be good enough to start at our linebacker spot. But Chandler Jones isn't really getting us a ton of value here, which not surprising. He's 83 years old. He's 83 overall, 33 years old, not 83 years old. Let's see if we can. I'm kind of feeling this CJ Henderson deal, and I'm also feeling this Cesar Ruiz deal to try to fix our offensive line right off the bat. But there's also a better opportunity for us to get guards in the draft than there is to get corners. I'm not even saying CJ Henderson's that great of a corner, to be fair, but he is only 24. I think I'm going to counter offer this, take away these 6th-round picks, and try to ask for like a 3rd or a 2nd. Would the Panthers give me a 2nd-round pick this year and CJ Henderson? Trade declined. Oh, I could go in and ask for more. Like, I could give them more out of here. But what about if I just go for a 3rd? I don't even think I'd be able to get a 3rd straight up with Henderson. Oh, trade offer accepted. So Chandler Jones heading to Carolina. We pick up CJ Henderson and a 2024 3rd-round pick. So that's nice. We had an extra 3rd to this class. Okay, so now that the Chandler Jones deal is done, I think I'm going to keep Davante Adams around, even though I could just do a little due diligence and see who we could get for him. A lot of really good receivers. We could get Joey Bosa. Nick Bolton would be awesome, and a 1st-round pick this year. I mean, it is the Chiefs pick, but still, it's a 1st-round pick. Jason Kelce, Kyle Pitts. I mean, we could get some really, really impact players. Brian Burns, just make another trade with the Panthers. Marshawn Lattimore, Charles Cross. I mean, okay, so Davante Adams right now has a ton of value. So that is awesome. That's good to know. Anybody else that we need to trade away? I'm assuming Marcus Peters has no value. He does have offers. Since we did just bring in Henderson to fill that number 2 spot, we could go with Rayshawn Jenkins, 76 overall star safety. He's 29, but that would help us in the immediate future. Or we could bring in Kobe Bryant. Kobe. Maybe if I attach a draft pick, that might entice teams a little bit more. So how about I entice a 4th-round, or I attach a 4th-round pick to that. Okay, now we're getting a little bit better offers. We're getting a little bit better offers here. Gesicki, John Johnson, Paulson Adebo. I am intrigued by this Rondale Moore deal. We've got Davante Adams, we've got Jakobi Meyers, we've got Hunter Renfrow. But we've seen in the past on this channel that Rondale Moore, now that was on Madden 23, but I'm assuming they didn't adjust it too much. Rondale Moore grows into a very good player if you keep going. So This one is intriguing me. I might do this. Marcus Peters goes to Arizona. We bring in a young, very good potential receiver in Rondale Moore. So now that that is made those changes, I don't think I'm going to do any more changes than those two for the first season. But those are we're going to ride with Jimmy Garoppolo for this season. But those are the new additions. We will go and generate best lineup so that Rondale Moore fits in there as wide receiver number 4. I'm actually going to start Michael Mayer at tight end. I think that's just the smarter option to get him to develop. And now Tyree Wilson gets to start instead of Chandler Jones. So that is awesome alongside Max Crosby. We have CJ Henderson now filling in as the number 2 corner, not behind Marcus Peters anymore. So I think we're going to simulate the first season. It's probably going to be pretty bad, but that's what we kind of want because we don't want this team to be good. I guess we do want this team to be good. And if we win a Super Bowl in year number 1, that'd be awesome. But I don't think we're going to. I will simulate to the end of the season, see how things go, and I'll catch you guys back up there. I don't think we're going to make the playoffs, but maybe we will. No surprise, year number 1 goes in the books as a big old L. We finished 6-11. Not that bad considering we didn't finish last. The Broncos actually did at 5-12. So that is that's kind of funny actually. We didn't finish in the worst spot in the division. Obviously, our numbers are not great. Jimmy Garoppolo in the Pittsburgh offense is not fantastic. 3,700 yards, 18 touchdowns, 12 picks. Not a great season from Jimmy G. Josh Jacobs, 1,100 yards, 6 touchdowns. Amir Abdullah actually had 10 touchdowns, stealing them from Josh. Very interesting. He must have been more of a goal line back, I would guess, for some reason. I don't know why. Jacoby Myers had 1,000 yards. Devontae Adams did not. Okay, whatever. 3 touchdowns apiece. Renfro had 4. Michael Mayer had 600 yards and 4 touchdowns as well. How did Rondale Moore do? Rondale Moore did not play. Great. Okay, I might have to change to make him like a slot receiver or something. I have no idea. Defensively, 128 tackles from Robert Spillane. Who? Who are you? 7 tackles for loss? Whatever, man. 106 tackles from Divine Deablo, 10 tackles for loss. Marcus Epps, 79. Max Crosby, no surprise, was getting in the backfield. 13 tackles for loss, 14.5 sacks. He's a stud. And he led the team by a mile. 6 sacks for Tyree Wilson with 48 tackles, 11 for loss. Pick leader was Marcus Epps with 3. And this dude, Spillane, had a fantastic season. Maybe he won linebacker of the year. I don't know. We'll see what happens, but that was a shocker. Maybe he'll go up in an overall and he can be a viable player for us. I have no idea. But it's time to simulate to the Super Bowl. We got to think about the offseason. So we're heading into our first offseason. We got to get a quarterback. I did take a look at the draft class. There are a couple quarterbacks on the top of the board that could be very, very good. One of them is a statue in the pocket, but that doesn't necessarily matter since we're not going to be playing a lot of the games. The only game that we would play is the Super Bowl game, I would think, or maybe like an AFC title game. It's Cowboys-Chargers in the Super Bowl. Shocker there that the Cowboys in Madden Simulation are in the Super Bowl. Are the Cowboys going to win? I don't know because it won't tell me when it comes up because they changed that for some reason. Like it would be a bad thing to see who won before you get into the season recap. Whatever. Let's go to the season recap and find out who won the Super Bowl. It is the Chargers by 3, 17-14. We've got no awards. No shocker there. I was hoping maybe that Michael Mayer could win Offensive Rookie of the Year, but not when Bijan's in the same class. Joe Burrow wins the MVP of the league. Joey Bosa won the Super Bowl MVP, so good for him. All right, we head into our offseason, our first one as the Raider head coach. Can we make this team good right away? I don't know. It's going to be very tricky. I don't even know what draft pick we have because we didn't finish like worse in our division. We could go to mock draft number 3, see where we're picking. So we are currently picking at number 7. So that's not a big jump to get up to get one of these 2 quarterbacks. And these are the 2 quarterbacks I was talking about. Johnny Ramsey, Michael Sanborn. These are the 2 guys. This is the guy, Ramsey is the guy that's a statue in the pocket, but he's 6'6", has amazing stats or amazing skills, and he's got grade 2 elite throw power. He looks like a less athletic Josh Allen is what I'm getting, the kind of vibes from him. And then you've got Michael Sanborn, who is a little bit more mobile in the pocket, but doesn't have necessarily the greatest arm or the greatest accuracies like Sanborn, or like Ramsey does. So I'm leaning more towards Ramsey, but we'd have to trade up the Rams to get the number 1 overall pick. Luckily, ours is only pick 7, so we don't have to go up too far to get that one. But that's kind of where I'm sitting right now on terms of quarterback, and we got to get a quarterback. If we want to win anything in Madden, you have to get a quarterback, and that's true for real life NFL too. You got to get a quarterback, but especially in Madden, you need to have a quarterback on your roster that's good if you want to win anything. So we have $64 million, and I just skipped, didn't I? Yeah, that's not good. Josh Jacobs is under contract, and I just skipped past renegotiations. Okay, so Josh, I know you want to be here. I just didn't think about it to get renegotiation contracts. So let's bring you back, buddy. I didn't mean to do that. Oh, I got to bump it up even more. I don't want him getting stolen by the Commanders, so we'll give him even more money than he wants. I really hope he signs, or we're going to be very screwed if he doesn't, because I'm an idiot. And I didn't read I didn't remember to do negotiations. Wide receivers, there's not a whole lot here, and if there was, only Keenan Allen wants to be here, which I don't hate as kind of like a bridge receiver, having him and Davante Adams for a young quarterback. That could be very nice. But we do have to battle. I'll come back to it. We have to battle a couple of teams. I'll come back to it. Gesicki's at tight end. Offensive line. I don't hate Damian Lewis. We might go after that. Robert Hunt, to try to get good right away on the offensive line is a possibility. Defensive tackle we do need, but there's not a whole lot there. Outside linebacker, don't want to spend the money on Josh Allen. No middle linebackers except for maybe Frankie Louvu, maybe. Or Jordan Brooks, I guess. No outside linebackers. Corners. Since when is Jeremy Chin a corner? I didn't realize he moved to corner, but whatever. Michael Davis wants to be here. Was he on our team? I think he might have been on our team before. I don't remember. Maybe not, but we could bring him in because we do need corner. Okay, so the free agent class isn't amazing. I'm going to offer Keenan Allen just because I think that would be a nice deal to get. Pair him alongside Davante Adams. That's a big contract. I like that. We have 3 more available offers. I definitely want to offer Damian Lewis. He's only 27. So let's go and offer Damian Lewis that contract for 3 seasons. That's good. I could go and offer Robert Hunt, but I'm not 100% sure yet because we only have 2 more active negotiations in this first window. So I want to make it work. I want to get Michael Davis. I want to offer him a nice little 2-year deal, 5-5 each. Perfect. He should accept that. And now we have 1 more negotiation. And I think if I'm not going to go for DJ Jones, which could be a nice defensive tackle upgrade for the right now future, I think I might want to go for Robert Hunt, or we should save the money. I think we're going to save the money. We have $11 million. I think I'm going to save the money. We're going to evaluate our offers. I got Big Spender trophy. Win a free agent bidding war for a 90-plus player. So that means we got who? Keenan Allen's not 97, is he? I didn't think he was. Or 90-plus. Signings. Oh, it's Josh Jacobs. That's right. I forgot that I offered Josh Jacobs back. So Josh Jacobs does re-sign with us. That's awesome. Michael Davis signed and Damian Lewis signed. So that's a new corner addition, and that's a new left guard starter. Very good. And we're still working on Keenan Allen. And we got Keenan Allen, right? Yes, we did. Keenan Allen's here as well. Big first free agent period for us. And we still have a decent amount of cap room left. Obviously, that's going to go towards our draft picks that we sign. But throwing in Keenan Allen alongside Davante Adams and Hunter Renfrow, I like that a lot. Generate best lineups. Jacobs is back. Davante Adams, Keenan Allen. We throw Damian Lewis at the left guard spot with Colton Miller. That left side looks a lot better now. We need a center for sure. I might just sign a center off rip just to have somebody there. So we have Tyree Wilson, we have Max Crosby. Corner looks a little bit better now with Nate Hobbs and Michael Davis. But we're still very thin at a lot of positions. So I think I'm going to sign a center, and that's going to be about it for this free agent period, just so that we have somebody in case I don't draft one in the draft this year. So let's sign a center. It doesn't have to be anybody special. Evan Brown, sure. He wants to be here. We can get him on a pretty decently cheap contract for a season just to have a body, just so we can have a body. And he signed with us. Perfect. So instead of having a 52 overall guy or whatever it was, whatever Evan Brown is just that little bit better. So that's nice. I like what we do at the receiver spot. Getting Keenan Allen. Yeah, we have our long snapper as our starting center. So definitely got to bring in a 70 overall Evan Brown is nice. So I like this wide receiver combination. You got two big play, big body receivers, and then a couple slot guys and Renfro and Rondale Moore. So whatever quarterback we end up getting is going to have some pretty good options along with Josh Jacobs and Michael Mayer. They're going to have some pretty darn good targets to throw to. It's just a matter of who is going to have that number one pick. Well, we know the Rams are going to have the number one pick, but who is going to be at the number one pick? Do we even have to trade up? Is Ramsey going to be there? It looks like Ramsey is the pretty much number one guy. That's what I'm kind of seeing. He's the unanimous first pick in the draft, which kind of sucks because it's very hard to trade up to get number one. But we will try to do it because I think that Ramsey's going to be the difference maker in this rebuild. He just looks that much better. So we will go to the final chance to scout people before the actual draft. I'm going to use my scouting points on those receivers or on those quarterbacks so that we know 100% who we're going after. So let's take a look one final time at the mock draft. Mock draft 5 is staying the same. These two guys. And when I use these private workouts, it may turn out to be that Sanborn's better than Ramsey. I don't think it's going to be that way, but it definitely could be. I can definitely see that happening. We're going to use it on YouTube. And then we're going to use our last one on, oh, I don't know. Let's use it on somebody that I haven't already done. Let's use it on this. I have no idea. Let's use it on this guy. Donovan Rowland, left tackle, pass protector. We could move him outside to right tackle, and he could fit in perfectly. But that's in the first round. And I don't know if we're going to have enough to get up to the first round if we trade all of our stuff to get this pick here. Luckily, we're at 7. Like I keep saying, we're at 7, so it shouldn't be overly difficult to trade up. But I do want to see for sure who's the guy. Who's the guy? It's Ramsey for sure. Top 5 talent, or top 5 projection, but round 2 to 3 projection. No, opposite. Top 5 projection, round 2 to 3 talent, but Ramsey's top 5. Ramsey's the guy. It just sucks that now we have to trade up to number 1. So let's talk to LA. Call up the Rams. Ask them what they want for the boy. Let's see. LA Rams. What do they want for the number 1 overall pick in the draft? Probably going to be a steep asking price, but let's ask. So they want 3 first-round picks and 3 second-round picks. Yeah, you're not going to get that. I hope not, at least. So we will offer pick 7. That gets us not even halfway, or kind of halfway. So they might get what they want. They might get what they want. They need a quarterback. I can give them Jimmy Garoppolo if you really want Jimmy G. How much does that go up? What's that say? Oh, they can't take on Garoppolo's contract. Not many people can, to be fair. Oh, you know what? I'll give a pick in 2026, a first-round pick in 2026. That moves the needle. I'll give a third-round pick. We have back-to-back thirds. I'll give a third-round pick. It doesn't really move the needle too much. I'll give a third-round pick in 2025. Okay, and then I'll give a second-round pick in 2026. So we're basically getting rid of our first and second in 2026. Still not good enough. What about a third from 2025? Nope, already have that. What about a third from 2026? Mortgaging the future for this quarterback, and it still's not good enough. I think I have to give up a second this year is the problem. I think that's where we got to go. So I don't really want to. I'll give a 2025 second, though. Trade declined. Okay, now I can start throwing in like thirds and stuff and see if that's going to work or not. Trade declined. Come on. Don't make me give up another second round pick. I really don't want to. I already have. I'll give my 2024 third. Trade offer accepted. I was able to keep the second round pick this year. So we give up 2 first round picks, 2 second round picks, and 2 third round picks to get the number 1 overall pick in the draft to get our quarterback. It's a steep asking price. We basically have no capital for 2026, but we've got our quarterback. Make our selection The number 1 pick in the draft is going to be Johnny Ramsey, top 5 projection, top 5 real talent. He can't move in the pocket. He's a statue, but he's got elite strength, elite throw power, and his accuracies are on point. Give me Johnny Ramsey. He is a hidden development. I got worried for a second that he wasn't going to be hidden development, and he's very lumpy. But he's 97 throw power, 85 acceleration, 74 speed's kind of slow, or really slow, but 85 acceleration not bad. 78 agility, 78 change of direction. We've got our guy. We've got our new quarterback, and he will start over Jimmy Garoppolo no matter what. So he will start over him. Next user pick is in the 2nd round, pick 7. We're not going to trade away or anything like that. We need bodies, so we are going to draft people. Okay, we got a Trendon Watts, wide receiver from the Ohio State University. Looks pretty decent. His route running is okay. He's a very interesting player. He's a round 1 to 2 projection. I wonder if his true talent is round 1 to 2. But we don't really need a receiver. Like, we have some pretty good receivers at this point. What about this guy, Trent Mayo? Trent Mayo looks like a decent, strong safety. He's got good speed. His man coverage and block shed are both Bs. We don't know what his hit power is. I think I'm going to take a flyer on Trent Mayo. And I say flyer, we're in the 2nd round, but that's a big pickup. 90 speed, 86 acceleration, 87 agility, 85 jumping. That's a solid 2nd round pick. I'll take that. I'll take that for sure. He's probably a starter. That's how bad we are at this point. He's probably a starter. And now we have our 3rd round pick, and then I'm going to let the CPU handle the rest because we don't have our 4th anymore. What do we have left on the board? Probably not a lot. Probably not a lot. Khalil Dumaine. Ooh, hello. Did I just find a freak athlete? B block shed, B finesse moves. See, he's not great technically, but he's a really good raw talent. 6'5" in the 3rd round. What do we got to lose? Hidden development, 86 speed, 87 acceleration. Khalil Dumaine, welcome to Vegas, baby. I'd say we hit it out of the park with our 3 picks right now. And then we can just let the CPU handle whatever else they want to do in the 5th and 6th and 7th. I think we had like 3 7th round picks, so we're going to have a lot of guys that are probably not going to be good. But getting our franchise quarterback, or what we hope is our franchise quarterback, getting a strong safety who probably can start day 1 and has hidden development, and then getting a edge rusher linebacker in the 3rd round that has hidden development with some freaky speed is really, really good. Ramsey's a 77. That's really big. That is really, really big for our franchise quarterback. Trent Mayo actually ends up being a 72. Dumaine has the development trait, but he's a work in progress. He's a 66. Now, what about these other guys? They drafted us a running back, Luke Givens. He's only got normal. They got Jay Fox. He's got normal. Jonathan Crockett has normal. And then what do we got here at the right guard spot? Normal as well for Ricard. Let's take a look around the league, see what the best players in the class were. It was Gerald Howard as the best the best player overall, 78. This class wasn't amazing, but non-offensive lineman Johnny Ramsey's the highest rated alongside Artavius Myers, who I did scout actually, looked pretty good. Where is the other quarterback? When did he get taken? Hold on, I gotta see pick-wise. He got pick number 2, and he's only a 72. We really did pick the right guy. He does have hidden, but it's probably only star at best, I would say. Ramsey, I'm hoping for X Factor, baby. We bet the farm on you, Johnny Ramsey. We need you to be the real deal Shaquille O'Neal. Okay. Headed into year number 2 of the rebuild under Matt Canada. Can we improve on our, what were we, 6 wins? Can we improve on 6 wins? We've got some new weapons for Ramsey, and he's going to be our number 1 guy. Oh, he's for sure starting over. He's the same overall as Jimmy Garoppolo. He's for sure starting over him. Mayer at tight end. A new offensive line duo I like. Good running back, good receivers on the defense. We've got ourselves a couple decent guys to fill out with Wilson, hopefully developing cornerback spot. Mayo, I'm actually going to start at strong safety. And we might as well start Dumaine at outside linebacker. I mean, what do we have to lose? Might as well get him some development. So that is what we're going to look like headed into year number 2. I will see you guys at the end of year number 2, and I'm hoping we can see some progression with this squad, especially with our rookie quarterback, Johnny Ramsey. I'm going for Rookie of the Year. Season 2 is a wrap, and we did improve our record. We finished 9-8, just behind the Chargers at 11 wins. We didn't make the playoffs, which is fine. It's still the beginning. We got a rookie quarterback, but it's nice to see the progression from winning 6 games to winning 9 games. And it looks like Johnny Ramsey's not starting, and he didn't develop his hidden... Wait, what? No, did they not have him start? I put him in... Madden! What are you doing to me? I had him start for a reason, and now we don't know why we don't know our rookie quarterback's development trait, which is kind of upsetting. It looks like Dumaine has superstar. A 3rd-round talent has superstar development. Wow. Khalil Dumaine. Talk about getting lucky. I just took him because he had speed. He had elite speed. So I was like, you know what? Might as well. And yeah, that is that's a big pickup. Now, it'll be even bigger if Johnny Ramsey has X Factor. If we drafted a superstar in the 3rd round and an X Factor in the 1st overall pick, then that draft might go down as the greatest draft class I've ever had in my entire life. Now, I'm assuming that the safety was only a star. I didn't really even look. It's Dolphins-Lions actually in the Super Bowl this year, in year number 2. Was the safety a star? I didn't even see him. He's also superstar. I'm goated. I'm goated on the sticks. I am goated on the sticks, ladies and gentlemen. He didn't go up, did he? Like, did he have star? Okay. I can calm down a little bit. He had star. He did go up to superstar. So when we drafted him, he was only star. But he goes up to superstar now because of his development and all that kind of stuff. So I can kind of cool down a little bit. But that is... Okay. We still drafted a star development player. I got to find out what his development trait is. Oh, it's just star? Really? It's just star on Ramsey? That's a little letdown. That's a little bit of a letdown right there. And he's not going to win Rookie of the Year because he didn't start. It didn't look like. It looked like they had stupid Jimmy Garoppolo starting again. Who's going to win the Super Bowl, though, for year number 2? Who is going to win the Super Bowl? We have $10 million in cap room. Just do some quick upgrades there. And then we can take a look at season recap and see if Mr. Mann won Rookie of the Year. I don't think he did. He didn't. It was Mike Graham, not even the other starting quarterback. And the Lions won the Super Bowl, so congratulations to them. Dak Prescott, NFL MVP and Offensive Player of the Year, I guess. But Mike Graham, the 3rd quarterback. Not even the guy that got taken number 2 overall. He wins Rookie of the Year for the offense. And don't worry, I did remember to re-sign the critical players for this season, so we don't have to worry about forgetting that this time. But there are some players that we probably need to get some value out of, like a Hunter Renfrow and maybe a Rondale Moore. Rondale Moore just is asking for too much, and it might not look like too much, but we do probably want to save that money and allocate that somewhere else. So first up is Hunter Renfrow. Trey Lance on the trade block. Yikes. Hunter Renfrow, what can we get for you, my boy? What can we get for you? We can get a backup tight end to Michael Mayer. That's not really an area that we need to focus on too heavily. We could try to get some draft picks back. That's really all we can get is just some draft picks back because Renfro's not getting a ton of money or a ton of value. We could get Marcus Jones and add another cornerback. I did just re-sign Nate Hobbs. But is Marcus Jones... Is he under contract? What's his contract look like? His player card, his contract. He's got one... I can't do it. I can't do... Because then we just have to be re-signing him too. So it's not really worth it. If we go and throw some sort of draft pick alongside Hunter Renfrow, does that bump up the offers at all? It does make it more interesting. We could get Jartavius Martin and a couple of late round picks. I wouldn't be opposed to that. We could get a superstar tight end, but how much is he going to play behind Mayer? It's not really a big issue. Mike McFadden, middle linebacker with star development. Or Tyre Tate. I like this one. I think I might do this. Micah McFadden, star development linebacker, plus a draft pick. But that adds a better linebacker to the team. And then what else was the other trade? It was Rondale Moore, but I don't really want to lose Rondale Moore, but we just can't afford his contract. He's just not going to... We're just not going to have money to do anything else, and I'd like to move that money somewhere else. So we could end up getting Marcus Jones still, but like I said, we'd be in the same spot with his contract next season. Although maybe it's worth it. It's worth it. Rondale Moore headed to New England, which I would love, by the way, if Rondale Moore ended up in New England. He's headed to New England, and I just realized that we didn't take a look at stats. We should probably take a look at stats, see how our rookie quarterback even did. Since he didn't play. He didn't play at all. Even though I put him as the starter, it must have changed it at the very first chance he got. Even though I think I had reordered depth charts on manual. Whatever. Jimmy Garoppolo had another fine season. Josh Jacobs got his touchdowns back. 15 touchdowns. Devontae Adams had 1,000 yards, 8 touchdowns. Keenan Allen had a decent season. Jacoby Myers, Michael Mayer. Defensively, this dude again had a bunch of tackles. Divine Diablo had a good season. The rookie, no wonder he went up to superstar development. 101 tackles is crazy. All right. We had tackle for loss leader was Max Crosby, obviously. 12 sacks for Crosby as well. 7 for Tyree Wilson. Okay. All right. So after year number 2, we show some improvement. And now officially we should have our guy be the starter because he's a higher overall than Jimmy Garoppolo. So... He should officially be the starter regardless of who's behind him because he's just better. He's just an overall better. Yeah, he is. So he's just 79 overall, 75 for Garoppolo. Star development kind of sucks, but we got to pair him alongside some good offensive linemen. He's already got some good weapons. We just need to pair him alongside those guys, and we'll be good. Greg Newsome is the top player on the board, and that would be awesome to get. But he's too expensive for what we're working with here, so we don't need a quarterback. Don't need a running back. Receiver, no. Tight end, no. We got Mayer. Left tackle. Now, I wouldn't be opposed to bringing in Garrett Bowles and putting him on the left side and moving, or having one of the two on the right side. I would not be opposed to that. As for anything else, there's Cesar Ruiz. We might just be spending our money on those two guys. Because we had the opportunity, remember, to trade for Cesar Ruiz in the opening parts of this video. But we ended up deciding not to do it and going with, I think we went with Rondale Moore, actually. But there's not really anything else that I want to go for here. So let me just put a little bit of an offer in on these two guys and see what we can do. Cesar wants to be here. So if we offer him that, that puts us ahead of the Vikings. And then we go over here and talk to Garrett Bowles, who has nobody interested in him. We have to chop this down a lot just to save on money. So let's do that. I'm hoping that if we bump this up to a bigger contract, he'll accept it. What about if we give him 3 and then bump his bonus down a lot? We got to work this out. We're going to have to restructure some contracts for sure. How about that? That's going to be very hard for him to accept, but maybe because we're the only ones offering, he might accept it. I don't know. Probably not, though. Let's go to targeted. Do that. Ruiz did accept, so we got a new guard. Garrett Bowles, no. Garrett Bowles, still no. So we got through all of our evaluation periods, and Garrett Bowles did not accept a contract yet. We might have to... What is the penalty on Garoppolo? Team salaries. Is there even a penalty on Garoppolo? because I'm assuming he's making so much money that it's annoying. The penalty is nothing, and he's only under contract for one more season. And I'd save $28.5 million if I just straight up released him. Yeah. Jimmy Garoppolo will free up $28.5 million. Bye-bye, Jimmy. I probably should have done that before. Probably should have done that before. Is there anybody else that gives us a crazy good savings with no penalty? If I just straight up just get rid of him? It doesn't look like it. Marcus Jones, but I probably should have just done that in the first place before we advanced all those signing periods, because now we have a good amount of money. Now we have a good amount of money, but a lot of the guys have signed places. That's my bad. That is my bad. But I will go to my targeted and give Garrett Bowles an actual decent offer now. Something that he'll actually like. So let's do that, and then he should accept that, no doubt. But with $22 million, we can now that we got rid of Garoppolo, we can maybe add some more pieces to this team, at least the guys that are available still. Because there are some players that, or some positions on this team that we still need to fill out. One, or a lot being the linebacker spots. We definitely need some linebackers. We did bring in Micah McFadden, which is nice, but this draft class, or this free agent class is just not very good with the end talent, and that's on me because I didn't mean to, I should have got rid of Jimmy Garoppolo before. That's my bad. But we did now, so if we move on, we've got all that money. We should be able to sign Garrett Bowles now, and if we get him, then we add 2 new guys to the offensive line that should really help us out alongside Damian Lewis and the other dude we have. I forgot his name already. But you can see our overalls are already looking pretty spicy. So if we go over here, generate best lineup, then we've got ourselves Garrett Bowles on the right side. Cesar, they're both playing guard for some. They're both playing left guard for some reason. I thought Cesar was a right guard. He is a right guard. I don't know why he's not starting at right guard. It should have just put him there. But I'll put him there nonetheless. There we go. Starting over Parham, and then we can have Parham be a backup, I guess. All right, perfect. Perfect. There we go. And then we got the center, Crockett. Actually, we could put Cesar Ruiz. That might be what I do. I'm going to put him at center since he's a 76 overall, and then have Parham play guard. And then Bowles plays tackle. Colton Miller plays tackle. All right, the offensive line looks a lot better. We add in Micah McFadden. We need to bring in a linebacker. I just realized that. And we've got Dumaine does what? No. They're not going to get this past me. He's not going to drop from superstar to normal. Get that out of here. I drafted a superstar development. They saw it. You guys all saw it. So we got ourselves a linebacker, baby. I do need to bring in another middle linebacker. So that's something. We could just sign Bobby Wagner, I guess. I wonder how expensive he's going to be. Okay, let's see. Bobby. Oh, Bobby. He's 35. He shouldn't be too expensive. He wants to be here. Let's offer Bobby Wagner a contract. He signed with us. Perfect. So Bobby Wagner will come in to play alongside Micah McFadden. And we need to move on to the draft. Because remember, next offseason, next draft, if we get there, we're not going to have anything. We got rid of everything to get this rookie quarterback Ramsey. So we got to go really all in right now. We got to go all in, all night, right now. Private workouts, mock draft number 5. What is our pick even at? We are picking at 17. Okay. I have not taken one look at the draft class here. It looks like there's 2 top left tackles. And then there's this guy, Terrence Huff. He looks pretty good. His hit power is F. He looks like a really good player. We've got this guy, Cameron Ware from Oklahoma State. 6'4" corner. Okay. Looks pretty good as well. Who do they have us taking? They have us grabbing Clyde Dupree, which we could use a D tackle, that's for sure. All right, Clyde, you don't look too bad at all. We might just stick at 17 and take Clyde, because he doesn't look bad. He doesn't look great, but he doesn't look bad. I don't know how good this draft class is in general. We'll use our private workouts. We'll use it on Clyde. But there's some pretty good corners in this class too. Very interesting. But we will use, where's he at? Where's Clyde at? He's really down here. There he is. Clyde Dupree. We'll use one on some of those top end guys, I guess. Actually, you know what? Let's forget about those guys. We don't need those guys. Let's look further down the board into the second round, stuff that we're going to be actually drafting when it comes to it. So let's look at these guys. We got Roosevelt Dupree, middle linebacker. How good are you, Roosevelt Dupree? I don't know. You're from Miami, and you've got, oh my, yeah. Okay, yeah. We are going for Roosevelt Dupree for sure. What about Monty Linder? Hardly know her. Looks pretty decent. Doesn't look bad at all. And then we've got ourselves, what about a center? Because we are looking for a center. So we've got ourselves this guy right here, Paul Freeman. Looks pretty darn good. I don't know if we'll be able to get Andrew Townsend, but I'm going to do Paul Freeman. We're going to do, where's he at? Roosevelt Dupree, and then we're going to do our D tackle, Clyde Dupree. So we could have the possibility of getting 2 Duprees on one squad in one draft. That would be absolutely insane. That would absolutely be insano in Debrano. Okay, let's go. I do want to see the mock draft one final time, just to kind of confirm where everybody's at. So let's go to the mock draft. Number 5. Do we see anybody that we have targeted above us? No. Clyde Dupree's the first guy, and we have him targeted. That's good. But after that, there's the first center. Okay, so right now they don't have Dupree projected to go in the first round, which is nice. I'm going to favorite Paul Freeman. I'm going to favorite Clyde Dupree, and I'm going to favorite Roosevelt Dupree, because those those 3 guys are our targets, all in positions that we need. So let's start the NFL draft. We're not going to make any moves. We're going to stay at 17. And I'm hoping and praying that Roosevelt Dupree, it's Clyde Dupree. Clyde Dupree is the first one. So let's take a look at the favorites board. They're all 3 available, but this is where it gets tricky. When do we think that the middle linebacker Dupree gets taken? So there's Clyde. But Roosevelt is still pretty far down the board. He's around 27. So we can trade up and make this happen. We're going to take Clyde Dupree with our first round pick. Bada bing, shebang. Hidden development, 89 strength, 86 acceleration. Looks like a stud. Okay. So that's a big one on the first round. But remember, we don't have a second round pick, so we got to make things happen here. We got to make the magic happen. He's not projected to go first round, but that doesn't mean he won't go. I would not put it past the AI of Madden to draft this man, because they can hear me. They know that I want this man, so they're going to take him higher than what he's projected to go. If we can get into the second round, then I'll feel really comfortable about trading up. There goes the center, Andrew Townsend. Robert Bannon, excuse me. Okay, we've made it to the second round. Now anything goes. Anything goes for this linebacker. So we've got to find a way somehow to get up to the second round pick. It's going to be very hefty. Keenan Allen and Marcus Jones. They want a hefty price for this. Okay, so how about I give you a 2027 second round pick? How do you like that? They like that a good amount, not crazy liking it. Remember, we don't have a lot in 2026, so Whatever we give up, we got to give up right here, right now. We're getting closer. Maybe if I throw in a player, they've got cap room, so I could throw in a player here and maybe make things happen. They need a left end. We only have 3 good receivers. Do I have Randy Moss on this team? Ray Moss. Thought I had Randy Moss on the team for a second. Okay, so they need a left end. We have Crosby and Joe Fox. Do you want Joe Fox? I'll give you Joe Fox. That moves it up a little bit, but he's not really enticing enough. I've got myself Byron Young. Do you want Byron Young? No. Or they don't want him enough, at least. We've got Dumaine, Bobby Wagner, and McFadden. We don't have any outside linebackers on the right side. I've got a couple corners. Do you want Jacorian Bennett? Trade offer accepted. 3 players and 3 draft picks gets us number 33 in the second round. First pick of the second round to allow us to take Dupree. I forget what his first name is. Roosevelt Dupree, that's right. So we're going to take Roosevelt Dupree, although I want to make sure, what's the other guy's projection? Round 3 to 4. I really hope he's there. Roosevelt Dupree, hidden development, 91 speed, 89 acceleration. I just want to say, I'm knocking these draft picks out of the ballpark, baby. I'm knocking these draft picks out of the ballpark. 2 development traits right there. We have pick 17 in the 3rd round. Do we think that our center is going to be there? It's highly unlikely, but it's a possibility. Please, please, please. He's there, Paul Freeman. Welcome to the squad. Hidden development center. Boom. I am 6 for 6 on draft picks that I drafted with development traits. 6 for 6 on draft picks, baby. I'm just goated, man. I'm goated on the sticks. I draft good talent. It's what I do. It's what I absolutely do. Bada bing, bada bang. So let's see what these overalls are. Very curious. Very, very curious indeed on what these overalls are going to be. We've got ourselves a 75 in Clyde Dupree, a 74 in Roosevelt Dupree, and then Paul Freeman is also a 74. And then they drafted us a 71 Grant Still wide receiver with normal development. Does he have speed? 89 speed, 93 excel is not bad. They got us a corner, Marlon Allen. Okay. Nothing there. And then they got us a tight end, Ben Delgado. Carlos's son? He's not good. But we struck gold with these 3 picks. How good was the class in general? It was fine. A 79 was the highest. But I don't really care because I got the guys that I wanted. So I'll take it. We fill more positions of need. And we get our defense looking a little bit better with that middle linebacker now. And our D-tackle. So we are feeling pretty confident if we go to the lineup screen. We've got our first year now with our quarterback that we drafted last year. If we go to a little bit of generate best lineup, they should put the center in there, and they do. So now we got Ruiz playing guard. The offensive line looks a lot better now. Offensive in general looks good. And then we go to the defense. We've got McFadden. We've got Wagner. We've got Dumaine. We've got... actually, I think I'm going to just have Roosevelt Dupree play right outside linebacker. He probably can. He's pretty fast. So I think I'm just going to switch him to right outside linebacker, and then our linebacking core will be pretty darn solid. So if he starts there, then we've got ourselves a stud, right? He's a 75. So I'm liking the way this team is looking. Our corners are good. Oh, I'm ready. I'm ready for season 3. I will see you guys at the end of season 3 with the playoffs, and I'm hoping that this year is the year we actually make it behind our first year or our second year quarterback. He's not a rookie anymore. I wanted to call him a rookie. Technically, he is a rookie because he didn't play last season. He should have, but he didn't. But I will see you guys in the playoffs. I'm hoping that it's playoffs for the Raiders. We finished up season 3. We didn't make the playoffs again. We finished 8-9. We started pretty hot, but we didn't finish it very well. Not really sure what happened. Maybe it's just this offense playbook's not really that great. But I'm going to give it one more season, and we'll see if we can make the playoffs in season 4. both Duprees, I should say, the Dupree brothers, are star. So they're both star development, and the center, I think, was star as well. Yeah, so we drafted 3 star development players this year. I'm hoping maybe one of them won Rookie of the Year. Well, defensive. The center would never win Offensive Rookie of the Year, but I'm hoping one of them won Defensive Rookie of the Year. That'd be awesome if they did. I don't think that they did, but it'd be really, really cool if they did. Johnny Ramsey finishes his first full season as the quarterback. 3,400 yards, 28 touchdowns, 19 picks. Now, I could easily change this playbook to a more suitable offensive playbook in Madden, but that's not fitting what the parameters of this video are. We're trying to play as Matt Canada, and we're running the Pittsburgh offense, so that's what we have to do. Rushing, we had 1,300 yards and 16 touchdowns for Josh Jacobs. He's still a phenomenal player. Devontae Adams and Keenan Allen both had just under 1,000 yards. Adams had 9 touchdowns. Allen had 7. Mayer, 3 touchdowns. Okay. And then on the defensive side of things, Bobby Wagner with 115 tackles. That's what he does. Then you got Micah McFadden with 106. Trayvon Moehrig, 88. Marcus Jones, 87. Michael Davis, 86. I did see Michael Davis went up to Superstar. I'm pretty sure he did. Yeah, Superstar development from Michael Davis. Good thing we signed him. We've got Trent Mayo, 86 tackles. Max Crosby had 58 tackles. We have tackles for loss leader was Tyree Wilson, 8 for Crosby. 18.5 sacks for Crosby. He's just been a stud, man. I didn't expect anything less. Michael Davis also had 4 picks as well. So a good season, but we didn't make the playoffs. We're going to go one more year into year number 4, see if we can fix this team and try to get them a championship. I don't really know what else to do because remember, we're trying to, I mean, obviously I could change the playbooks. I could give Dallas playbook or Kansas City playbook or Buffalo or Bengals, whatever playbooks are good in Madden, I could give them that, and we'd probably be a very good team. But that's not the point. This is why it's the hardest rebuild, is because we're trying to do this under the Steelers playbook. At least the offensive playbook. I could go full Steeler and go defense, but I don't know if I want to do that or not. I should probably just keep the Raider defensive playbook. Probably should just keep it. It was Eagles and Dolphins, I think, in the Super Bowl. Yeah, it was. And the Dolphins get the championship, so they get revenge from the Lions last year. I think the Lions beat them, right? Am I mistaken? Yeah, Lions beat them, and now they come back and they win it against the Eagles. Josh Allen's the MVP of the league, but we don't win any Rookies of the Year. I didn't think we were going to on the defensive side of things, but a girl can dream. Let's go to the re-sign period. I re-signed everybody. We actually had like $70 million throughout the season, so I did go and re-sign some people that needed new contracts, like our kicker and punter needed new contracts. We needed to re-sign Jacoby Myers. Micah McFadden needed a new contract. We will accept the option on Tyree Wilson, but everybody else here that I left, we don't really need. Bobby Wagner, not totally needs to come back. I mean, we could bring him back in just on depth, and I might do that. Let's bring Bobby Wagner back simply because of depth, and he does produce a lot of tackles. So I know he doesn't want to be here, but if he accepts a $2 million deal, that'd be awesome. He's coming back for 2 more seasons. Is he going to be productive? I hope so. That leaves us with about $39 million? Yeah, $39 million in free agency to go out, spend it all, and figure out who's going to be the best pieces to fit on this team. So if we go into free agency with $39 million, we got to go out and make this team really good. We could just go out and spend it all right now on Debo. And that might be the best option because there's not a whole lot here. But we probably should value depth over just strict talent. Although, would Debo alone be able to bring us a championship? I mean, Debo's a fantastic player. But I don't know if he gets it done by himself. I mean, putting him alongside all of our guys. What about if I offer Debo this? I don't know what everybody else is offering him, but if I offer him that, that's not going to do much, is it? Oh, it is. It puts us ahead, so everybody else must have been lowballing. Okay, so we offer Debo. He is 30 years old, but he's a 97 overall. That can help us out. I mean, it just can. What else do we need to go for? Probably we need to go for linebacker. Just to see if is there anybody that's just straight up better than who we have? Not really. What about linemen? Defensive linemen? No, man, this is not a good draft class to have a lot of money. Not a good draft class. I mean, we could go for like Ronnie Stanley, but is that really like what we want to do? Maybe. Just oh, actually we can't. Okay, so we can't go for Ronnie Stanley. We could go for like Jelani Woods to try to bring in a backup tight end. Maybe that's what we need. I don't really know what else to spend this money on. We're not going to go any more seasons, so it's not like we need this money. It's just there's not really anybody to spend the money on. We could go with a bunch of corners that are older. Like we could bring in Kenny Moore, but how much does that really help? Maybe it helps a lot. I don't know. Let's spend a little bit of our money on Kenny Moore, and then we'll save the $7 million for whatever draft picks we sign. I didn't mean to back out there. We'll save whatever 70 something or $7 million we have for the draft picks. So we'll go to our targeted, hit the button. Debo signed, and he signed with us. That's big. Debo signs, and Kenny Moore signs as well. So we get the two guys that we wanted. Debo comes into a offensive core that has Davante Adams, Keenan Allen, and Jacoby Myers. So he should slot in pretty well and help out this team. Bada bing, bada boom. Especially because Davante's dropped down a little bit. So now we have 4 receivers that I trust, a running back that I trust, a offensive line core that is pretty darn decent, except for we don't have our right tackle anymore. I forgot about that. Okay. And then we go to the defensive side of things. Kenny Moore slots in right there. Another corner. So now we have 4 corners that I like. And they actually dropped him down to star. So I'll move him back up to superstar. No, not restructure his contract. I will move him back up to superstar. And then we will figure out what we have to do here. So there's not really a ton of holes, is there? I mean, the right tackle spot's now a hole. But there's not really a ton of holes on this team. Not really. I mean, there's a lot of low overalls, but we've all got good development traits. They all look pretty good. Can I spend this $7 million on a right tackle? Or I guess $9 million. How much ever we have. We have $8 million. Okay, I've split the difference. Available right tackles. Jonah Williams. Illuminor wants to be here, but he's not that great. I'll just go for Jonah Williams. He's 78 overall. We'll spend all the money that we have left to try to get him. Hopefully he accepts, and hopefully we are over the other guys. We should be. We're out of evaluation period, so we actually have to simulate. But bringing in Jonah Williams would help out the right tackle spot for the immediate future. We don't have any first-round picks or second-round picks or even third-round picks, I don't think, in this draft. So that's going to be pretty rough. But that's what happens when you trade everything to get a quarterback. Did he sign? I don't even know if he signed yet. Did he sign with anybody? No, he hasn't even signed with anybody yet. I thought for sure he'd sign after we simulated. We'll simulate another time and see if he signs. I really hope he does. But the offensive numbers, I mean, we're 86s across the board. We look pretty good on paper. It's just a matter of getting it done on the field. And he did sign this time because we dropped down in our cap room. So we do have Jonah Williams now at our right tackle spot. I mean, we've got a 99 overall Max Crosby. If you've got a guy like that on your team, you're going to be pretty good regardless. So let's generate best lineup. And it puts Jonah Williams at right tackle. So that looks a little bit better on the offensive line now. At least we don't have a sub 70 starting on our offensive line. That would be just really bad. And let's continue going to the draft, because I guess we got to go to the draft. I mean, I'll check to see our draft picks, but I could have sworn that we don't have any draft picks. Maybe we do. Maybe I'm thinking of next year. We don't have any draft picks. But if I go to the trade center, do we have any draft picks? It says we need a quarterback, but we don't need a quarterback. No, we don't have any draft picks. I didn't think so. We have a 4th, a 5th, and that's it. And a bunch of 6s and 7s. Okay. Is there anybody that we could draft in the 4th round that's a difference maker? Probably not. Probably not. There's a really good left tackle, a decent quarterback, but we're not even gonna focus on these guys. Free safeties. Is there anybody in the 4th round that could be sneaky, sneaky good? Sergio Weary. Are you sneaky good? Probably not. He's got elite strength, but what does that really do? AJ Dobson. What about corners? Is there corners in the 4th round that are pretty good? Not really. There never are any corners in the 4th round that are that good. There could be some. This is the linebacking spot is where you could find some real gems. Kadeem McCune. I don't know how to pronounce it, but he doesn't look that great. Brian Graham. Not really. What about middle linebackers? Hal Forbes. His skills are not that great, but he could have some potential. Quincy Hargrove has elite jumping. His strength is not great, and his speed is good. I think I'm going to use my scouts on, or my private work kits on Bernie Farrell. I think it's Bernie Farrell. Or Farrell. It could be Farrell. Hal Forbes, and then Quincy Hargrove. Those are going to be my 3 guys. Excuse me. Didn't mean to choke there. Choked on my own spit. I'm going to use it on those 3 guys, and then I'm going to go put them on my favorites board just so I don't forget who they are. Forbes, Hargrove, and Farrell. There we go. Perfect. Got them on the board. Now, are they going to be there in the 4th round? Probably not, but they could be. They could be. Are they going to be difference makers? Probably not, but they could be. Let's start drafting and probably just simulate to our pick. Simulate to 4th round, pick 15. Are any of our guys available, or do they all get taken in the 3rd round? That's a big possibility. They all got taken before, so I'm just gonna let the CPU handle it. There's no, I don't want to scout anybody else, so let's just end the draft. Let the CPU take over, and we will see how this final season goes. Can we feel the love tonight? Can we win a championship running Matt Canada's offense? Probably not. I mean, our splits are amazing. We got 91, 87, 87. They actually drafted a running back. That's like the 3rd year in a row we've drafted a running back. What are we doing, boys? Bunch of 60s. No surprise there. Well, how good is this class? Just on straight curiosity. There's an 80 and then a couple mid guys. Okay, so it wasn't a fantastic draft. But we head to the preseason of the final year, year number 4. Year number 4 preseason. Can we win a championship with this offense? I hope. I think we are good enough. We brought in Deebo Samuel, so that should give Ramsey a really good option. We have an okay offensive line. We have a lot of good weapons. The defense is pieced together, but they're still solid. We've got amazing defensive line. We've got an okay linebacking core. We got really solid corners. Decent safeties. I mean, we look like a good team. I don't know if we're championship worthy, but we're going to find out in this final season. I will see you guys at the playoffs of year number 4, the final year. See if we can finally make the playoffs. The final season is finished up, and we actually made the playoffs to end out the video. 10-7. We finished tied for 2nd. We technically finished 3rd, but we finished tied with 2nd with the Chargers. But we are in the playoffs, facing the Houston Texans in the wild card round. Let's take a look at how our boys did here. So Johnny Ramsey had a fantastic season. Wow, he really stepped it up. 4,200 yards, 35 touchdowns, 7 picks. He really changed the game on that one. That's the franchise quarterback that we traded up to get. 1,200 yards and 8 touchdowns for Josh Jacobs. 1,300 yards and 15 touchdowns for Deebo Samuel. No surprise there. He's phenomenal. Devontae Adams had 800 yards and 4 touchdowns. I wonder if Deebo really made that much of a difference. Michael Mayer also had a really good game, a really good season, I should say. Jacoby Myers pretty good as well. Defensively, 116 tackles for Micah McFadden, becoming the new Bobby Wagner. Then we had Roosevelt Dupree, 98 tackles, so it looks like he's fitting in well at the new right outside linebacker spot with 12 tackles for loss. Trent Mayo, 96. Kenny Moore, 86. Clyde Dupree, 21 tackles for loss with 62 tackles and 6 sacks. Tyree Wilson at 20. Max Crosby, only 16 tackles for loss and 59 tackles. Not as productive as he has been, but he is getting slightly older. Wilson finally dethrones him as the sack leader with 12. Crosby, 11.5. Dupree had 6. And then a couple guys had 1.5. A couple interceptions for a few guys. That is where we sit as we move into our first playoff appearance in this rebuild. Are we going to go home disappointed against the Houston Texans? There's a very high likelihood that we get eliminated right here. Are we going to do it? Yes, we are. We got eliminated, beaten by the Texans. Not shocked really at all. But hey, we made a playoff appearance in 4 seasons as Matt Canada, and we got our contract extended. That's funny. We got our contract extended, but that's going to do it for the video. We might as well simulate out and see who wins the Super Bowl. But Raiders fans, if you're watching, let me know if you would want this. If you don't see a future with Josh McDaniels and the way your team is going in real life, do you want, it doesn't have to be Matt Canada, but do you want to fire Josh McDaniels and move on from him and get maybe an up-and-coming offensive coordinator or a lesser-known guy that's not really known to be a head coach and bring him in and then rebuild from the ground up? That could be a possibility. Let me know, Raiders fans. Or maybe you want Matt Canada to be your head coach. I don't know why you would want Matt Canada to be your head coach, but let me know. Maybe you do. I just thought it'd be funny since he's been kind of getting memed on right now because he's so bad as the Steelers head coach. And funny enough, Steelers are in the Super Bowl, but we don't get any awards or anything like that. Lamar Jackson wins MVP of the league. Brock Purdy won the Super Bowl MVP, so good for him. But that is going to do it for the episode. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave it a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club as always. I think we had some really good players. Oh, man, if we were to go another season, we'd probably be able to make some things happen. Johnny Ramsey is a very good quarterback. He's a very good quarterback, and he'd probably be a year ahead of schedule if he would have started over Garoppolo his rookie year, which I tried to get him to do, but I guess he just didn't want to. But he is a very good simulation quarterback, not so much actually in game. So that's something. But he's a very good simulation quarterback. We still have Josh Jacobs, Debo, and Devontae Adams are still here. Jacoby Myers. The offense line's starting to grow a little bit. Michael Mayer's now up to superstar development. The defense might be my favorite, though. They keep knocking down Dumaine to be normal development, but I drafted Clyde Dupree, Roosevelt Dupree, Khalil Dumaine, and Trent Mayo, all with development traits. And I didn't miss on a single one of them. They're all very, very good. All very, very good players. And Dupree actually moved up to superstar development. He's a stud. He's only going to continue to get better. Roosevelt Dupree, his brother, is only going to get... I don't know if they're really brothers. He's only going to get better. I mean, he's 92 speed now. I mean, he's only going to continue to get better if you keep developing him. And then, obviously, you got Trent Mayo, who's a freaking stud. So, I drafted some big boy players, man. I drafted some real stud players. And obviously, you got, like, Tyree Wilson and Max Crosby, who were already on this team drafted by the Raiders. And they're also really, really good. So, Raiders fans, let me know. What do you think about this rebuild? Are you accepting the outcome of missing out on the playoffs for 3 years and then making it into the wild card and getting eliminated? I don't know. I don't know if I would accept it, but that's as good as we could get with Matt Canada as our head coach. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, leave it a like, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Also, leave down below suggestions for other videos you might want to see along this type of content, or this type of format, I guess you could say, with like taking somebody, putting him onto a new team, following their playbook, and then simulating trying to rebuild the team like that. So, yeah, that's going to do it for me. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I appreciate it, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.